Waldo is now live streaming Just Chatting Rafah Invasion Ceasefire Chaos, feeling the headlines with you #politics. Getting started in about 10 minutes. Toss any links to cool stories into the Discord so that we can feel them together. Discord. https Discord GG Benyay Tridix 8. Twitch chat being weird. Good thing there's always Kick. Does Twitch chat work from this browser? It does. Strange, I can't type into my own chat. But viewers can, it seems. Can you give it a shot for me, KBP? On the Twitch.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and this is Bobo. He was here almost on time, just in time for the stream. I think he's starting to understand and get like a timing down, so when he should be here, so that he can get on camera. Say hello to the people, Bobo. Hello. Wow, he can talk. Isn't that amazing? Say hi to the people. Are you gonna bark today? He pooped in the floor again today. He just cannot be taught. He cannot be taught. He is a rebel who refuses to poop in the grass, apparently. It's a whole thing. I'm pretty sure he stopped peeing in the house, though. I don't know why, one, he can go number one outside, but not number two. I don't know. It's whatever it is. Well, so, how's it going? How are you? I'm great, thanks. Twitch chat is acting very strange. I think that if you, the viewer, would like to type into it, you can. I was capable of doing it right there. See, that's my sock puppet account. And but the Waldo Politics stream isn't capable of typing into the chat. It's very strange. I'm locked out of my own chat, but other people can chat. So if you are here, if you're paying attention, if you're watching, hop into the chat. Tell me what you're feeling. Hit me with your hot takes, and send any links that you have to very cool, very fun stories to the Discord.
Discord. HTTPS Discord GG Beignet Tritix 8. Things in weird.
Things in weird. Yeah, KVP. If you give it a shot in the Twitch chat, try and send just any message uh, in Twitch if you can, if you have that, if you're capable. It would help me to determine what the problem might be.
EU.
I know how much you hate Twitch. I know. I get it. I understand. You don't like it. It's owned by Amazon, and you ain't having none of that. I appreciate it. I respect your solid political stance.
Test.
We typed the word test and it came through and we see it. KVP on Twitch. Good job. Thank you. I appreciate it. But it doesn't appear on my screen. Interesting. So I have chat window popped out and it's just not there. It doesn't even say test. Okay, that one's there. Okay, maybe I can pop it out again, perhaps. Let's try again. Chat settings. Ready to go. And then we pop out chat. And then we put it in the right place. We size it so I can see it properly, and it says the word test, but down at the bottom it just says uh, connecting to chat with a spinny weight symbol. So I don't think I can type in here. I'm going to try again. Type. Nothing. All right. Well, it seems that you, the viewer, and you, the KVP, and Waldo sock puppets, the multitude of Waldo sock puppets that exist. There are lots of them.
Robert not cooperating tonight.
The only on the Twitch. It's very strange. So you can type in there and it will pop up, but I can't type in there. I can't do it. You can. Seems Shinsento's right there. He's typing.
Laggy 2.
Laggy too. Damn nation. All right, I've got a new router that I could put in that I've been putting off for a couple of days, but I think I got one in the mail like 2 days ago that I could put it install. I don't know if it's gonna be an issue, but I'll do that tomorrow. How about that? Hopefully, we can get something good tonight. Uh,
Slots. The result
slots.
is at KBP 24. Sorry, keep trying. You lost 50 points.
KVP, are you getting a lag on Kick or just on Twitch?
Gamble. At KB Pond Twitch you must win 1 and 100 points. Go for it.
You must wean. You must wean. I wonder if I can recreate that. Bet between.
Ween.
Wean. Canooch, you are delightful. I love you. I what is it's oh it's the fact that it's bet. See how it's the same words. She chops them out if she thinks it's redundant. So the typing bet between comes out
Both, but I could be me. Ween.
ween. That's fantastic. Um,
Hot.
yeah, exactly. You can make her stop. Yeah, setat. Yeah, hot. That's all you get. All right, interesting. Well, Canooch, you are a crazy person. You're drunk, and I love that about you. But we do have to talk about the politics at some point, I suppose. So if you're here, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop into the chat. It might work, and the lovely lady Canooch might read it to you.
Canooch.
That's her. That's our lovely lady Canooch. She is the uh, beautiful voice.
Feelings time.
Feelings time. Yeah, yeah. She has the beautiful voice that is behind this part of the stream. So if you are watching, if you're paying attention, hop in the chat. She'll read it for us. And if you've got links, toss them into the Discord. If you want to go and watch old videos.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at waldavideos.
And so you can go there. You can become a follower. You can give me a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe and all those fun things. And you can watch the old content. You can check out the shorts, and you can watch all of these streams condensed down into single issue videos and stuff like that for the viewing public and for your viewing pleasure. Is what I'm trying to say. So if you have links, toss them into the Discord. And there's a lot going on tonight. So there is apparently a war on. So let's take a look at that first. There's this war thing going on. I don't know if you guys have seen this or heard about this, but apparently there's this place. It's called Israel. They're not doing a good job right now. Let's turn off the window capture. Turn on the window capture. Oh my. We go here and we go there, and the Israel military calls on Palestine civilians to evacuate Rafah. Rafah is a place where lots of those people have gone. Lots of the Palestinians have gone there. That's where they are staying at the moment. Wonderful looking place if you take a look at it. It looks just delightful. I'm sure they've got a lot of 5-star reviews on Airbnb for this lovely place right here. Why is this important? Because this is where they've been hiding. This is where they've been holed up, and this is where the vast majority of them are right now. We don't want the Israeli military going in there and harming the people, but they want to go in there and get the bad guys. Makes sense. But it's tense and difficult because that's where all the people are too. So we've got lots and lots and lots of normal, everyday civilian people in an area that has got a few terroristic Hamas bad guys cruising around in there. Not a good time, not fun. They're hiding amongst them intentionally so that it will look bad if they get bombed. They're hiding behind them, using them as human shields. Yes, they are bad guys. Hamas is bad guys. But everybody's bad in this situation because what you don't do when someone's using a human shield, you see, where did my human shield go? There's my human shield. There he is. Okay, so listen. When I had a human shield and he ran away. Yeah, come here, silly boy. If I'm hiding behind Bobo with if I'm using Bobo as a shield for bullets because I don't want the cops to kill me. Like, if I don't want the cops to kill me, so I hide behind Bobo. See how I'm hiding behind him? Right now you can't shoot me because then you'll injure the poor, gorgeous,
Bobo,
beautiful.
don't shoot.
It's Bobo. Don't shoot Bobo. The good guys are not supposed to shoot through him anyway. I think it was the Keanu Reeves movie Speed, way back in the day, where they asked him at the very beginning of the movie, "What do you do when the terrorist takes a hostage?" He says, "Shoot the hostage." That's a bad answer. You see, shooting Bobo to get to me is the wrong answer. That's the thing a bad guy does. And so we are suggesting, perhaps, that the Israeli military shouldn't be the bad guys. We don't want them to be. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Top shop. Okay. Good job, Canooch. Oh, now he wants to play. See, look what I did. What an idiot. Here he is, playing with the dog toy. Tug of war all day long. Dude, he will play tug of war and fetch all day long. 26 hours a day if you don't stop him. 26 hours a day. He will just fetch and play tug of war all day long.
Lol play time.
I know, Bubba, it's stream time. It's time to talk about the poor dead Palestinians. Let's stop playing with with the ranch dressing toy. See, ranch dressing toy. This is what your bark box is giving. Okay, go get it, and don't come back. I should have thrown it downstairs or something. Anywho's it. I would like for the civilian people not to die. I would like for the bad guys to stop being bad guys and the bad cops to stop being bad cops. I'm an idealist. I know. I'm crazy. What? None of that's going to happen. Sorry. So, what do we expect to happen? Well, we don't know what's going to happen because at the moment, predicting things is really hard, especially the future. So right now, what we've got is the military, the Israeli military is definitely headed in there. So what they've done also is, come on, internet, I hit the button. You're going to do the thing? There we go, thank you. Benjamin Netanyahu rejects ceasefire demands that would leave Hamas intact as Israel cabinet votes to close Al Jazeera office. So there was a ceasefire talks, there are ceasefire agreements and stuff like that that are being discussed between the two sides. But both sides are disingenuous shits. They both are. The Hamas side is a bit terroristic and playing games. They're not being entirely forthright. They're not arguing in complete, full faith. Okay, so they're trying to get one over on these people that they don't like, and they do want to die. But at the same time, Israel is trying to get over on them. So neither side is really good here. There's no good bad side. It's not Axis versus allies anymore. There's no good side here. The Hamas side is being sneaky about it. They're dragging things out so that they can prepare themselves and put themselves in the best position. And then what they do 5 seconds before the bombs start launching, they agree to the ceasefire. It's too late. Things have already moved forward. You've made them wait too long. You wait is what Hamas is doing. And now that it's 2 seconds before the bombs go off, the night before they go off, they're like, okay, let's have the ceasefire. It's too late. They're already in motion. They're already doing the things, and they've already put all the soldiers into place. They're already doing the invasion, And why would Hamas do that? So that they can look sympathetic, so that they can say on Twitter, oh my God, we agreed to the ceasefire, and they just fired on us anyway. Because they're disingenuous fucks. So that's what they're going to do right now. So what I have here on the screen is a photo, here we go, of where Hamas accepts ceasefire proposal for Gaza war. So they accept it 5 seconds before the invasion starts. The move means that hopes for a halt in fighting that eases suffering for Palestinians and release of Israeli hostages now depends on the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has said, no, we're not going to accept it because it gives Hamas more power and it leaves them intact. I don't love this, the way he's suggesting this. I don't love the way that he's framing this. But he's not going to accept it. Anyway, he's going to say that it gives them power, gives them all the authority, gives them all the important stuff, and it lets them do what they want and run around however they like. And keep being a problem. All the sides are disingenuous fucks. That's all there is to it. And then the regular people in the middle die, which is sad. I don't like that. But that's probably what's going to happen. Let's see. I swear I saw a photo of the people celebrating once it yeah. See, so here now what we've got is Hamas says, yeah, we totally accepted the ceasefire, and then their people celebrate. You see? Oh, an ad. What kind of sick bastard would play an ad, honestly? I say as I'm looking at my own ad button, wondering when it's going to go off. Anyway, here we go. See, so they're celebrating. These are people in Gaza, in Rafah, that are cheering and excited about the fact that the ceasefire has just been accepted by their side, and they're all about to get bombed. They're all about to get bombed because Hamas waited until the last moment, until it was too late to accept that ceasefire. Now, what's going to happen is the bombing's going to happen, and we're going to see some. There's some.
War
It,
profiteers.
yeah, that well, they're not doing a very good job. These, apparently it seems these Hamas guys not very nice. They're not really on the good team. So what they're going to do is cry when things get blown up. Israel just blew up a whole residential square in East Rafah, according to this wonderful lady who said that. Now they're going to scream because it's all about framing. So the Gaza people are going to point at that photo right there and then say, and then they're going to point at this one and say, hey, we accepted the ceasefire and all our people are out here partying and have a good time because we are peaceful and wonderful. Because they're disingenuous fucks. So these people who are celebrating and excited and happy right here in this part of the photo are about to, you now have the excuse and the argument that, hey, we were totally ceasefire and totally being peaceful, and you bombed us anyway because you're bloodthirsty and terrible and nobody could trust you, which is half true, but it's half true for both sides. Both sides are uh, being disingenuous and bloodthirsty and hateful. Nothing we can do about it. This is going to be going on exactly like this. They're both going to lie. They're both going to frame things in their own way to make their side better. It's a bad guy fight. We are funding one of those bad guys. The American government is funding the Israeli side and giving them guns and weapons and bullets and bombs. And then on the Palestinian side, we're giving them band-aids and aid and food and water and stuff like that. So yeah, we're giving guns to one side, band-aids to the other. I really wish weren't doing that. That sounds like a bad plan. I don't like that plan. Sorry, I keep goofing around because there's a baby doggy biting my toes and making me try to play with him. He's just not getting this whole streaming schedule. That's where we are with the war. So it's going to keep going on. They're going to Hamas is going to play games with the ceasefires and the agreements and the deals and stuff like that. Israel's going to keep using the tiniest, littlest bit of violence from them or staging their own, which is also a charge that has been levied against them, to try and milk just a few more goodwill bombings out of the American people and their own public and stuff like that, so that they can drag it out just a little bit longer so they can take a little bit more of that land, so they can take a little bit more of that place and never give it back. Eventually, and it might even be a 40, 50, 60-year thing from here on. They just take a little bit more each time. They just take a little bit more each time. They just take a little bit more each time. Then they cool off for a few years at a time. Then they take a little bit more. Then they cool off for a little bit. Might even go 3, 4, 5, 6 years without any problems. And then they take a little bit more until there is no more Palestine, until there are no more Palestinians in a Palestine place. Which is why, honestly, I'm telling you they just need to leave. I know they won't appreciate it, but get everybody who wants to leave Palestine, put them somewhere else. Not in one place. Get your close family together, go somewhere else. And we pay for them to go somewhere else. We could do that so much cheaper than paying for aid and paying for the bombs and paying for the fucking weapons. We're giving how many millions to Israel to fight these people? Will that lead to some of the Hamas members going somewhere else? Yes. At which point they won't be surrounded. They won't be in an apartheid state. They won't be starving. Their people won't be starving to death, hopefully, if you send them someplace that's at least middle of the road decent. And then they won't have a network of people that they can that they're all hiding together with. Ian, if they stay there after a certain date, Israel's just going to take the land anyway. What I think we need to do is actually just evacuate them all. Anybody who says, I'm a civilian, I'm not going to do anything wrong, I want to run away, gets to run away. That's all. It's the only option left. I'm not happy about it. I'm not thrilled about that idea. Israel itself is a ethno state. That's not a good call. That's not a good idea. It was born and created as an ethno state. That's not good. As an ethno state, they need to either, what I would suggest for them is that they get over that idea and move the fuck on. Ethno states are dead. It's a 18th century fucking ideology. Stop doing it, you know? But they're not going to stop doing it. So they're going to keep ethnically cleansing all the people who aren't their ethnicity from their country and all the places that they think are theirs. When they start that shit with Egypt, Egypt bombs the shit out of them because Egypt is an actual country, Palestine is not. If they tried that with Jordan or any of the other bordering countries or anything like that, they would get stomped on, and we would all yell at them for doing so. Um, yeah, they're going to take it. They're going to take it today. They're going to take it tomorrow. They're going to take it eventually, whether you like it or not. And the only question is how many Palestinians die when they take it. And I would like that to be a smaller number rather than a larger number. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. I'm not in charge, apparently, it seems. I called. They didn't call me and ask me whether or not they should bomb Rafah. I would have told them no, but they didn't call me and ask me. So this is the only thing we can do. Honestly, that's my solution. Get the people out of there. Boats, planes, and I think the Israeli military would be on board for that because then they just go in and get to go in and take all the land that they want anyway. That's what they want. They want the land and they don't want the people. So do they get what they want? Yes, possibly. Are they going to get it anyway? Yeah, might as well just speed it up. Accelerationism a little bit, maybe. Take the people out. They can have the land. The people will go get spread out across the globe. And is that sad? Yes. Does that mean that Palestine no longer exists? Yes. But Constantinople doesn't really exist. I mean, Arabia doesn't exist anymore, right? There's lots of countries that used to exist that don't. It's a thing that happens over time. I want to say Istanbul is a country, but I don't know. There are countries that have ceased to be, is what I'm saying. And it can be sad, but it can happen, and we can still move forward in a humane way. Uh, what happens to Israel under my plan? Well, then they take all that land. They kill anybody who's still left behind as Hamas fighters. Uh, we can still yell at them because maybe it's just very, very, very religious people. And if the people won't leave because of their religion, I'm sorry, that sucks. And I don't want you to be murdered, but we gave you an option. Okay, that is kind of a choice that they made. That's not a good choice. Nobody loves that choice. I'm not going to be happy about that. Wouldn't celebrate it, but it would be better than. I mean, this is what's going to happen now. Either they're going to die to an Israeli bomb, they're going to starve to death, or they're going to join Hamas and fight Israel and die. I mean, that's what their options are right now. They don't have a whole lot of other options. Or they could, at very best, they convince Hamas to do some sort of a peace treaty and then slowly starve and slowly die until the next offensive, which might only be a couple of years away. It's honestly, leaving should be what we do. Sorry for the noise. Is the dog toy playing bothering anybody? Sorry. Yeah. See, the doggy. He's so excited and he just won't leave me alone. So, that is the war update. Ooh, looks like we're running ads now. I think. No, they just ended. Oh, good. Great. Ads just ended, apparently. That's cool. Thanks for watching on Twitch. I appreciate it. Press the thumbs up, press the like, press the subscribe button, press the follow button, and then hop into the Discord and tell me.
Game stream came early playing fetch.
Yeah, game stream is now just throw the monkey. It's a very fun game. I always lose. So that is the war update. It is going to be ugly, it's going to be bad, and it's going to be stupid. There is no good reason for it. There's no good reason for any of it. So we're just going to let it be stupid. Israeli forces are going to take over the Palestine side.
The result is at KBP 24. Sorry, keep trying. You lost 50 points.
Yeah, and here we can keep up with the updates and stuff like that. I'll take a look at it, but I just expect more of them to die and then nobody to do anything. They'll get pressed down. Well,
I lose too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go turn this light on. One sec. Come here, Bo. There we go. That's better. I was wondering why the light looked so strange tonight, but it's because I didn't have the big headlight on. Oh, come here, Bo. Give me that. Give me there. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. See if I can get him to jump. Jump up. Get it. Jump. Jump up. You can do it. I've seen you jump. Jump it. Jump up. Come on. Nope. Okay. Good choice. So yeah, that is the long and short of it. I think it's
Jorts.
jorts. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, everybody wore jorts. Everybody did until somebody named them that. Honestly, jean shorts are fine, and they were great, and they were fine until somebody called them jorts. In which case they sound silly. Nobody wears them anymore. I'm the only one that does, and I am better for it. Trust me, they're great. There's nothing wrong with them. Just that silly. It's just a silly name. That's all. They're a perfectly acceptable piece of clothing. They just have a silly name, and they didn't always have that silly name, but now they do. And now people criticize me for it. I swear. So what is going to happen? I give you my plan, my idea on how it could be better. What is going to happen in reality? In reality, they're going to stay. They're going to get bombed. They're going to die. They're going to cry. They're going to be upset. They're going to tell us that everything shouldn't happen this way. The Israelis are going to say that this is the way it has to happen. The Hamas is going to fire off 3 rockets and injure 5 more Palestinian soldiers. And then the Palestinian soldiers and the Netanyahu are going to say, okay, well, this is a reason we should bomb them again. And it will just keep going on and on, back and forth, until all of them are dead. That's it. That's how it's going to happen. I think that's how it's going to go down, honestly. Or they leave and never come back. There's a possibility that they leave and go somewhere else. Some other country takes them in, something like that. But even then, that would be difficult because they aren't exactly, they're not exactly job trained and ready to roll. You know, they're starving, they're poor, they have some education. They used to have schools and stuff like that, but all the schools and all the colleges in Palestine have been bombed, and all their hospitals have been bombed. Everything of value in that country is destroyed. So they haven't been educating themselves. They're not very healthy. Whoever takes them, if you take them all on, I think that would be a huge burden, and it would create a ghetto. I don't think that's a good idea. I
Nah,
think,
it's going on forever though, you can't bomb ideas.
well, there are no ideas. KVP, that's a terrorist kind of thing. Yeah, you can't bomb ideas, but these aren't ideas. These are an ethnicity. You can bomb an ethnicity. You can. So if you know where they live, you can drop bombs on them. So what we need to do is spread them out. And that's sad, and I know diaspora. It's kind of a thing. Uh, Spread them out. Take them out of there. Anyone who wants to go, tell Netanyahu, hey, listen, you can have this land. After we take all these people out, we're going to take them all out. And the ones who leave get to go to a place that's somewhat randomly assigned to other countries who are volunteering to take them in, and we don't put them all in one
Like the
fucking,
Romani.
yeah, we don't put them in one big concentration camp. That's the other mistake that's going to happen when everybody comes around to my idea, because everybody eventually agrees with me on this. So they will eventually say, okay, let's get all these people out, and then they're going to put them all onto one giant cargo ship and drive that cargo ship to one place, and then wherever they place it, the local government's going to be like, no, we don't want a million underfed, undereducated, underemployed, very sick, very unhealthy refugees. What the fuck is wrong with you? Of course we don't want that. Where are we going to put them? And then it'll start a whole new fucking thing. Oh my God, you! And then the left will be like, why can't you just put them somewhere? And then the right will be like, you want them in your house? How many Palestinian refugees did you put up in your own bedroom, Waldo? And I'll be like, man, like spread them out. Why do they all have to be in one place? They don't. They could, in fact, go to lots of little places. Pick 100 places across the globe. Divide them up by 100 and send them there. Maybe even 200, 300. I don't know. And then Palestine is gone. It's done. I'm not happy about that. I'm not thrilled with that. But that is the only way that these people get to continue living. And I think that's more important than the country of Palestine. I think that's more important than their religion. Being alive is more important than your religion. Sorry, guys. It just is. Um, that's all there is to it. Emo Waldo's in chat, I suppose. Ooh, I think Twitch chat works now. Can I put an Emo Waldo in there?
Oh,
Nice. Emo Waldo's in chat. Hooray. So, uh, being alive is more important than your religion or your lack thereof. And I think that is the only actual like humane
oh,
way that we get done with this. Love it. Thanks, guys. That's the only humane way that we do it. We take them somewhere else, we spread them around, have them tell stories, have them bring some cultural stuff like that, and keep it alive. And then we don't have to worry about a future ethno-state because worst case scenario, we just do it again. We take all of those Palestinians out of there from the horrible Holocaust genocide that they just went through and put them in the one a piece of land somewhere, like the side in a corner of Mexico or a corner of southern uh, the South, or throw them in Montana, or carve out a space in between Canada and America. We each give up half, and we put all of them in there. You know what happens? That becomes a new ethno-state. That's a bad call. That's a bad idea. It just becomes the new ethno-state. Only the people there of this ethnicity. If you go there, it's because you want to talk to them. And they won't be able to get jobs. They won't have anything. It'll be a ghetto. It will be bad. And then everybody on the right will point to it as the source of every bit of terrorism and every bit of bad policy. They'll point to it as the reason you're losing your job. They will say that and point at it wherever it happens to be, especially if it's near an American border. If they put it anywhere near in any other country, they're going to do the same things. Every country has conservatives. Every country has uh, people who are thinking about themselves and what benefits them, and this won't benefit them, which is why you can't just make one giant ghetto and put them all in there. Wouldn't make any sense. It would turn it into an ethno-state. So we need to stir the melting pot, make the world a melting pot, stir it up, break them up into smallish family units, give them some sort of communication, a cell phone number, and then send them somewhere that will take them, and they can start new lives as citizens of that country. Bam, done. Israel can roll in with the tanks, squash anybody that's still there. As horrible as that sounds, it'll be the Hamas people and the harsh, staunch uh, religious people who refuse to go. Sorry. I, you could leave. You can, in fact, choose to not be harshly religious. You can choose not to be uh, a religion. You can choose that. You simply don't want to. So I know that's harsh and it's terrible, and it might be a little cruel of me, but that's the only way I can see them living through this situation. And if you think I'm wrong, feel free to hop into chat and tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me your plans. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're feeling. Make it about you. I don't mind. I want people to talk to. It's fun and interesting, and it works better if you are telling me why I'm wrong and why I'm right and what's going wrong. So if you're watching, paying attention, hop into chat and tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, and we will move on to the next little bit. What else have we got? We're gonna close this, and we're gonna save that for later, and we're gonna look at Joe Brandon. You've heard of him, right? Democrats prepare to go on the offense on immigration in the coming weeks. Joe Brandon is making moves. He is. He did the weed thing. He did the what was that other thing? He did some uh, union type stuff. He did he did one other thing not too long ago. A couple in this past like last week. He was doing some other things to make the kids like him. He needs the people to vote for him. I need you to vote for him. I'm sorry. I really need you to vote for Joe Biden. I really do. I Donald Trump's going to come and get me. He's going to kick in my door and he's going to take me away for all the things I said about him. So anyway, that's the joke. Joe Brandon is making moves, and here is what his latest move is. Key administrative officials on top Democrat lawmakers discuss a path forward that would include forcing votes that Republicans would most likely oppose, two sources said. So what kind of votes are we talking about? Let's see what they are. I was hoping that it would tell us what they were. In one potential scenario, Senate Democrats would take the lead by calling up various pieces of legislation, perhaps even parts of the bipartisan deal negotiated by Senator Murphy and James Langford and Kristen Sinema, and try passing them by a process known as unanimous consent, to which a single senator can object. That doesn't sound like a good plan. Democrats have made it clear that the situation at the border is unacceptable. That's why we worked in a bipartisan fashion to craft the strongest border security bill in a generation, endorsed by the Border Patrol Union. Right, they did create a big fat Republican bill that Republicans didn't vote for because it had Biden's name on it, so they couldn't. He blamed Republicans and former President Donald Trump for the deals falling apart and said Republicans need to get serious about fixing the border and ignore Donald Trump. After all, you can't say it's an emergency and then refuse to take action.
Hey.
So they're going to push that again? It's not a good plan. Hey, kid, what's up? What you doing? Oh, yeah, he was nice and comfy. Yeah, he was just chewing on his little thing there. He was chewing on it, and he was being nice and quiet till you disturbed him.
Why would they do that? Shocked Pikachu.
Yeah, it's a good question. Why would the Dems put together a Republican bill, put it on the, get it passed, put it up for legislation, and then the Republicans would vote against it? Because nobody does things that are good for the country anymore. The Dems don't actually want that bill to pass. It would be bad for them. It's a huge increase in the president's power, and I don't like it. It's a Republican bill. Simply is. And the Republicans didn't vote for it, even though it's a Republican bill, because it has Joe Brandon's name on it. You see, if Donald Trump had suggested this bill exactly word for word, but it had his name on it, they'd have voted for it, and they'd call me an evil pinko commie for not supporting it. That is how they operate. They don't care what's good for the country. They don't care what's going on. They simply need the pretext because the insinuation. They need only to make the accusations. Uh, so yeah, they. It's not an emergency. That's the other bit that I'm going to suggest to you. It's not actually an emergency. Republicans know that. They just don't care. They just know that it's easy to scare people by screaming about the immigrants and the poor people that are going to come steal your job. Oops, wrong button. Let's go here. Keep reading. So they're going to push this again? That's a dumb idea. The executive action is merely a political move to amp up cruelty against people seeking asylum at the border ahead of the elections, said Amy Fisher, Director of Refugee and Migrant Rights at Amnesty International. Yes, I agree. This is a way for Joe Biden to do some cruelty to get the center and the right to appreciate him. That's what this bill is about. It's about Joe Biden doing things that he doesn't want and doesn't like so that the people in the middle and the people on the right think he's cool. Don't do that, Joe. Joe, don't do that, Joe. He's not a leftist, you see. He's never been a leftist. Anybody that tells you Joe Biden's on the left is wrong. He is not. He has never been. Maybe in the 70s he was a little bit. But I'm not going back into the deep lore to find out. Using the authority, Customs Border Protection would be directed to block the entry of migrants crossing over from Mexico if daily border crossings pass a certain threshold. Yeah, this is the Republican bill. This is what they want. This is what Republicans want. They will pass exactly this bill the minute Donald Trump has his name on it and is
Notice me, Center
charge.
Pie, notice me.
Yeah, notice me, Center Pie. Good call. Let's see. What's the second thing they want to do? No executive action, no matter how aggressive, can deliver the significant policy reforms and additional resources Congress can provide, and the Republicans reject it. We continue to call Speaker Johnson and House Republicans to pass the bipartisan deal to secure the border. It wouldn't secure the border. That's stupid. They're just saying that they're just doing it for the gram, They're doing it for the Vine, They just need this 6-second little blurb to be on Vine so that they can brag about it. What else? That's it? So this is their brilliant plan to get the youth to vote for Joe Brandon. Do Republican things. Not a good plan. The the left is upset with Joe Biden right now because of his bad takes and shit uh, control and not running the Israeli thing properly. You
Who's
see,
gonna tell them that Vine is dead?
don't shh. Don't tell them that we cannot let them know. They're doing it for the Vine, and so the left is mad at him. They're upset that he did a Zionism. They're upset with Joe Biden because of his Zionist tendencies. They don't want to follow him anymore, and they're very unhappy about the fact that they're going to have to vote for him. Maybe they don't vote. That's unpleasant for him. And his plan is to do a Republican border bill. I don't get it. I do not know who runs the DNC, but they run it poorly. I'm not happy about it. That I now have to vote for Joe Brandon after he does a bad job in Israel and then tries to get a Republican bill passed about the border. I don't have a choice. I sure do wish there were some leftists in charge. I sure do wish the Democrats were a left-leaning party. That would be nice. Be pleasant. But apparently that is entirely unacceptable. I don't know who is running the place, but they're doing a piss poor job. Let's see, what else is going on in the news? So let's talk about that Trump guy, right? He's a guy. He's had things happen to him. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Where do we start? We start right here. Let's do this. This is Mr. Donald Trump saying just really dumb things. He doesn't actually understand what the gag order is or means. He doesn't know what he's allowed to do and what he's not. I think because he's really dumb. Maybe. Well, maybe. It's a it's a form of affluenza. Remember that kid who got off the judge let him loose because his parents never taught him any rules or anything like that? And we called it affluenza because he was affluent. He'd never faced consequences before. Hence, he can't be held responsible in court. It's horseshit. Look it up. Go Google the word affluenza and you'll figure it out. Donald Trump suffers from affluenza. He does. He is allowed to go campaign.
He thinks a gag order is a kinky thing you do with escort.
Yeah. You order the lady to put the gag in. He is allowed to campaign. He's allowed to go to campaign stops. He goes to them often. He is allowed to talk about any bit of policy that he wants. He's allowed to talk about tax plans. He's allowed to talk about what he wants to do with the FBI. He's allowed to talk about who he wants to put on his cabinet. He's allowed to talk about who he wants to put on the Supreme Court. He's allowed to talk to you about his plans for the military. He's allowed to talk about what he wants with foreign policy. He doesn't know any of those things. That's the problem. He doesn't know what he wants for any of those things. He doesn't know about them. He doesn't care about them. He does not know about tax plans. He just knows he wants his lowered. That's all he knows. He does not know about foreign policy. He doesn't. He doesn't know anything about who he should put on the Supreme Court. He doesn't care. He'll have the nerds. He'll have the nerds at Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation do all that thinking for him. He'll just do the things they suggest. He's an authoritarian who just doesn't know anything. It's amazing. Anyway, the point I'm getting into is that the only thing he's not allowed to talk about is the jury and the people in that courtroom. That's it. That's all he's not allowed to do. He's allowed to talk about anything else on the campaign trail. He really is. Anything he wants. He can go tell us about his favorite ice cream. He can tell us heartwarming stories about when he was a child and being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars as a child by his father in some sort of tax scheme. He's allowed to do that. But the gag order from this trial has said only one thing that you're not allowed to talk about is the people involved with this trial. That is it. The witnesses, the jury, the prosecution, the defense, all the judge, and all the people involved with this one trial. It's a very, very, very small number of things. It is incredibly small. The things he's not legally allowed to talk about. But telling him he can't do a thing puts a splinter in his brain. It puts just this gritty piece of sand inside his mind that he can't get out. He can't get out. He can't move past it. He's been told that he can't do a thing. And this irritates him beyond anything you can ever imagine. This makes him angry because he's the special birthday boy who can do anything. And he's a special boy who can never be wrong and gets what he wants all the time. He's the fat kid from the Harry Potter movies. I don't remember his name. I didn't actually watch him. Anyway, he is the fat kid from the Harry Potter movies, and he gets what he wants every time, no matter what. And when you tell him no, it really sticks in there. It really irritates him. It really grinds his gears. And he's been told, no, you cannot talk about the people in this court and the jury, and it's bugging the shit out of him. So he goes and he does this nonsense. So let's bring this up. I'm going to put it over here so I can watch the audio. Go.
I have a gag order as to that first question. As you know, they've taken away my constitutional rights, so I'm not allowed to answer that question.
They've taken away his constitutional rights, so he's not allowed to answer that question. You can talk about 99.999% of the entire universe, Donald Trump. You can, in fact, talk about 99.9% of the things and the happenings within the entire universe. You're allowed to. And the only little bit that you're not allowed to talk about is the people in this trial. And there's a good reason for that. There's a lawful reason for that.
This has never happened in this country before. It's a ridiculous thing.
First gag order ever. Never happened in this country before. Nobody's ever had one before, apparently.
Ridiculous case. I did nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. Take a look at Greg Jarrett this morning. He went on. Take a look at Andrew McCarthy or Jonathan Turley or Mark Levin. It's like they say there's no case here. And yet the judges gagged me, and I'm not allowed to talk about, I guess, his total conflict. The judge is totally conflict.
And then he goes and does the talking that he said he's not allowed to do. It's amazing. It's brilliant. This is amazing comedy writing. If you were writing a comedy, this is exactly how you would write it. Remember when Kanye came on remember when Kanye was on the screen? He's like, I won't say what kind of doctor it was. It was a Jewish doctor. This is on that level. It really is. I'm not allowed to talk about the judge. The judge is corrupt. The judge is clearly bought and paid for, and I'm talking about the judge, but I'm not allowed to talk about the judge. It's fantastic.
It's totally conflicted, and you ought to take a look at it. And I'm not supposed to be talking about it. But I am allowed to say that the judge has a conflict that like nobody's ever had before. You ought to take a look at it. He's taken away my constitutional right to speak. I was in Miami this weekend, and reporters are asking me questions, the same questions like you're asking me, and I have to say I have a gag order. I can't speak about it.
Yes, that's how gag orders work. That's how all of us are under the law, Donald Trump. You don't know that because you have affluenza. You have never been subject to rules, regulations, or laws before, and it's irritating you.
Never happened before, ever. Number one. Number two, it's a fake trial. They have no case, and it's been absolutely proven now. They have no case whatsoever. This is Alvin Bragg doing it for political reasons for Biden. This is a Biden trial. He's a crooked president.
None of that is true either. There is a good reason for the trial. The judge has said so. The trial lawyers have also suggested so. The people who are saying there is no trial, the people like he mentioned with Andrew McCarthy, Jonathan Turley, and Mark Levin, are blatant, one-sided, obvious Trump ass-kissers. And they're telling you, they'll look into the camera and tell you, oh no, Trump never did anything wrong, because they are paid to do so. Donald Trump. They're paid by their media companies to kiss your ass. Because when you win, they profit monetarily. It's literally fake news. Like, Mark Levin, fake news. You might not know him. He's an old ass boomer who talks to old ass boomers. He been doing radio shows fucking forever, AM fucking radio shows. He is a dinosaur who gets more money if Republicans are in office cutting rich people's taxes. That's all he gives a shit about. He doesn't give a damn about you. He doesn't give a damn about the Constitution. He doesn't give a damn about the country. He needs more money. And he's going to get that money if Republicans win and cut his taxes. So he's going to push for it. That is his entire goal. Monetize and increase the amount of money and power that he has. And Trump is just a golden goose for them. This is just funny. I like this. This just makes me happy, so I'm going to play it. Donald Trump printed out a bunch of printed out a bunch of news sites so that he could read them to you.
Just came out. Colombia just canceled their commencement. Axios. Colombia just canceled their commencement. That shouldn't happen. And it also came out that the protesters, many of the protesters, are backed by Biden's donors. Okay, are you listening, Israel? I hope you're listening, Israel.
I hope you're listening, Israel. Donald Trump has printed out some news headlines. He's doing what I do, just without the streaming setup and without the lights and the camera and stuff like that. The other people to take care of that for him. And so he's just reading off the news. Yes, if you're a donor to Joe Biden, you can, in fact, also back up the people doing this protest. Is that some sort of crime? It's not. You could, in fact, donate to Biden, and then you could, in fact, go to the protest and help the protesters. You could buy them pizza. Famous streamers have been doing it. I won't name who. But they go there, they support them, they give them a high five, they tell them they're doing a good job, they buy them all pizza, and then they donate money to Joe Brandon. That's allowed, Donald. Do you not think that's allowed? He doesn't think that's allowed. That's political, if you asked him. If you ask Donald, that's political. And you can't be bringing politics into politics. Again, as usual, conservatives don't know what the word political means. The word political means things they don't like. If Donald Trump supports protesters, supports Jan 6, helps them get out of jail, pardons them, gives money to their defense, that's fine. That's cool. That's great. Not an issue. But if somebody donated to Joe Brandon and then donated to these protesters,
weren't you
political.
People that did January 6th backed by Republicans donors?
Of course they were, but that's not political in their eyes, Shinsinto. They don't think that's political. They think that's normal, everyday, common sense. That's what they think. Donald Trump is not political, according to them. Backing the Jan 6 people, donating to Donald Trump, and then donating to the Jan 6 rioters is not a political thing in their brains because they agree with it. If they agree with it, it's not political. It's common sense. And anything they don't agree with is political because they don't use the words properly. They don't understand what these words are. They don't understand what these words mean. They just know that if they say it loud enough, people get upset. If Donald Trump says this is totally political, he knows a whole bunch of people are going to go, how dare you be political? His fans will just get mad at the word political. Doesn't matter if it means anything. Doesn't matter if he's using it properly. They'll just get mad. What else we got? All right, let's keep going. I think there's a few seconds left on this one.
Hope you're getting smart, but they're backed by Biden donors. That's
So,
where the money's coming from.
You're allowed to do
I'm not
that.
surprised at all. There's many other articles, many of them having to do with the gag order and the unconstitutionality having to.
That has nothing to do with the gag order. The gag order is put in place by a judge in your case. Nothing to do with those two things. It's like, but they have nothing to do with each other. You're not even close to being correct.
To do with the gag order, and it is unconstitutional, and it shouldn't be allowed. And I wish people could move a little bit quicker, the appellate courts, because the whole world is watching this, and they see what's happening. More importantly, frankly, they have no case. They have absolutely no case. It's a political hoax. It's election interference. Anything they can do, and even the witnesses they want to bring up, they have nothing to do with the case. This is a ridiculous situation. Not fair, but we will fight. Thank you.
None of that's true. He's an absolute moron. The case is real. It is properly brought. Everybody knows it, except for the people who believe Donald Trump. If you believe him, you think that this is a fake case. I get it in my chat all the time. Somebody will come in and yell at me, talk about how it's not a real case, but it is entirely properly put together. The timing is a little bit sus, but it's still there. It's still right, and it's still within the proper statutes of limitations and things like that. It is the system working properly. The abnormality within our system is Donald Trump. He is so abnormal that the law can't even control him. They've given him like 9 fucking gag orders and talked about 9 times he's violated that gag order. And they're talking about putting him in jail next time because he just keeps doing it. He is the abnormality. He is the abnormal one. He is the thing that is breaking the system. And he's so brazen about it that it doesn't matter. That the court doesn't know how to deal with this. They've never had anybody so brazenly break the rules. They don't know what to do. They can't handle it. They can't function because the minute he gets put in jail, thousands of people are going to go apeshit and call it a political hit job. And it's not. It's just not. They're using the word incorrectly again. So we have another really good one. I love this fucking guy. Here he is. Newt Gingrich. Huge piece of shit. Huge. Gigantic. Massive piece of shit. Newt Gingrich is going to complain about the law being applied to Donald Trump. He's apparently above the law, according to this guy. Let's hear him.
And so if you watch the judge in New York, the most important battlefield of this entire campaign is an appointed, corrupt judge in New York.
Any evidence of the corruption? No? You're just going to say it? Well, okay. Well, Newt Gingrich is corrupt. I just said it. Donald Trump is corrupt. Look at that. I can do it too.
Who I believe is about to put Donald Trump in.
There's the believe word again. And how much I hate that word.
Is about to put Donald Trump in prison. And that's a very dangerous thing.
He's not going to put him in prison. He's going to put him in jail. There's a difference. You'd think that the third in line for the fucking presidency would know the difference between jail and prison. He doesn't know. He's about to put him in jail for contempt of court. Not prison. Prison is for people who have been found guilty of a crime and sentenced to a crime. Jail is for people who are doing the contemptuous bit. He has been warned time and time again not to do the contempt of court. He has been explained to him. His lawyers know what it is. He knows what it is, and he's doing it anyway. What do you do with people who break the law, Newt Gingrich? What do you do with them? You just allow them, if they're Republicans, to do whatever they want? That's what he wants.
It's dangerous to our Constitution. By what right does an appointed local judge put somebody who is the nominee of their party, former president, in prison? But
he doesn't care. This man, Newt Gingrich, does not care about the law. I've talked about it before. Here we all know what this is. This is the rules. The law is for protecting Republicans and harming everybody else. This man, Newt Gingrich, wants the law to protect Donald Trump and harm everyone who isn't a Republican. That is what he wants. That is what he wants for your rules. That's what he wants for your life. He wants this every step of the way. He wants the entire country to be run under that rule. Republicans get to do whatever they want, and Democrats have to follow the laws. That's it. That's the plan. That's if he gets in his way, Republicans are immune from the law, and Democrats have to follow all of them, maybe some extra ones.
Openly told us twice now in 2 weeks that it's going to happen.
He's warned Donald Trump that it's going to happen. He hasn't said, I'm going to put you in jail because I hate you and I think your hair looks stupid. He has said, if you break the law, I will put you in jail. That makes sense to me. Newt Gingrich, Law and Order,
Waldo's Daily Word Salad L.
Word salad? What's word salad about that, Tyler? If Donald Trump breaks the law, he should go to jail. Do you disagree with that? Newt Gingrich disagrees with that sentence. If the judge tells you not to do a thing, you do it anyway, you're found contempt of court, you go to jail. That's the rules. That's the laws until Donald Trump showed up, in which case he gets to abandon all the laws.
And I think it's very dangerous at the most basic of levels. Just ask yourself,
Are you on
what
Quora?
would it be like to be Trump in prison in New York?
Are you on Quora? I don't know what that is. Never heard of it. So yeah, that was Newt Gingrich, huge piece of shit. Let's look at another huge piece of shit. Her name is Laura Trump. Here we go. Laura Trump, since we're still on the Trump train, let's see what she has to say. She would really like to change the way elections happen. Because she didn't win last time, so she's upset about the way that the elections happened. She would like the mail-in ballots not to be counted after the election deadline.
Yes, you definitely are. That is filled with Trump derangement syndrome.
Definitely are on Quora? I don't know what you're the one speaking gibberish right now, boss. So let's look at her. Oh, come on. Oh, no, I already got it open. Here it is. Right here. Let's go and go.
For a while now that your priority is to ensure a transparent election, and I see that the RNC and the Trump campaign filing a lawsuit in a battleground state to stop counting ballots past Election Day. What are you doing with regard to suing Nevada right now?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. You cannot have ballots counted, Maria, after elections are over.
Quora is like
right
Reddit,
now,
but for demon
that
rats.
is one of the many lawsuits we have out across this country to ensure that just that happens, that we have a free, fair, and transparent election. So in Nevada, as you pointed out, we are saying we want on Election Day that to be the last day that mail-in ballots can be counted. And
because if it's not that way, they lose. If you count all the votes, Republicans don't win. So the Republicans, like her, are telling you not to count all the votes. Just don't count them. If they got mailed and it takes a couple of days for them to get there, maybe if you're a, I don't know, overseas military member who is voting by mail and sending that in, and it gets there after that one election day, they won't count it. They don't care. They don't respect your vote. If you aren't voting the right way, they want to limit you. If you are voting the way they want to empower you. Very basic stuff. Quora is like Reddit, but for Democrats. I've never heard of it. Never taken a look at it. Maybe I will. So yeah, if the mail-in votes that they hate, I am going to do my mail-in vote right here at this desk while live on stream when it arrives. Because I voted by mail last time.
If you count all the illegal votes, then yeah, of course Republicans will win. If we count only legal votes, then Democrats will lose.
There weren't any illegal votes. There's no evidence of illegal votes, Tyler. None. And if you think that there is, somebody lied to you. Somebody lied to you, and you liked it. You enjoyed it. They lied right to you. They said there were millions of illegal votes. They told you there were.
2020 was filled
with what? Illegal votes? Absolute madness. You live on a different planet. They lied to you, and you love it. You love it. It feels so good when those Republicans
Yep.
tell you that there were millions of illegal votes. There's no evidence of it. There's no evidence. It is imaginary, but you like it because imaginary illegal votes make you feel better. So that's how they made you feel better, by inventing this imaginary millions of illegal votes. And they keep getting you. They get you over and over and over again with it. And then they make you feel good, and because they make you feel good, you come back to them, you vote for them again, and you keep supporting them, even though they keep
No, it's
robbing
real,
you.
Waldo. Watch
It's
the clips.
not real.
At
I
Tyler
have
the
seen
Goat
it.
One, you believe it cause it was the only way you can cope with picking a losing side.
I've seen the clips. I've seen the evidence. I've watched hundreds of hours of people telling me about it, and it's all been debunked. None of it is real. But that won't stop you. That won't stop you. You're a true believer, baby. And that's, I think, dangerous. Belief is the problem. Stop believing things. Look for evidence. Find the evidence. Trust it. Vet that evidence. And then come to your own conclusion. What are we looking at? House set to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene efforts to remove Mike Johnson. So this cool guy is probably going to get a vote again next week. Far-right Congresswoman has spearheaded effort to oust fellow Republican as Speaker, but motion to vacate widely expected to fail. We expect it to fail because, and I said this last week, but it's going to fail because Dems are going to vote for him. Why would they do that? Because they're going to get something from him. They're going to say in
And that conclusion is not in the Republican side. Yeah, talking about impartial.
That conclusion isn't on the Republican, because they're wrong, Tyler. Republicans said there's millions of illegal votes. I looked into it. There weren't. They're liars. I'm not on their side. This isn't difficult. They're liars. They lied to you. And now you're lying to me. You're passing their lies on to me right now. Mike Johnson, going to have to compromise, beg, borrow, and trade with members of the House on the Democrat side. He's going to give them things.
Democrats lie a lot more.
Absolutely not true. They lie sometimes.
When you can't stop him from doing a government, just shut down the government.
That's right. He did a government. He compromised with the Democrats. So Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to get rid of him. Now, he's going to get Democrat votes. And what's he going to give them in exchange for those votes? Maytag, MTG, is making her own side worse. She's making her problem worse. She hates it when he, dog under my foot. She hates it when he coordinates with Democrats, but he's going to have to coordinate with Democrats to not get kicked out. She's causing.
You love Democrats bullshit. I see you love that propaganda is tasty, isn't it?
What propaganda? I just spent the last hour bitching and moaning about how much I don't like what Biden's doing. Go back and watch the earlier parts of the stream later. I need the numbers, honestly. And you'll see that I was complaining about him quite a bit tonight because I think he's doing the border bill that he's pushing is a Republican border bill. And I don't agree with it. The only reason that Republicans didn't vote for it is because Trump told them not to. It is a good Republican bill. They simply chose not to vote for it because it doesn't have Donald Trump's name on it. He will pass exactly that border bill if he were to win. And they would all be happy with it. What are we doing? That's it for the headlines. If you're paying attention, if you're watching, hit the thumbs up, hit the follow button, and
WOWWWW self-sabotage. You think Biden is weak?
Do I think Biden is weak? I think he is a liberal, and I'm a leftist. You see, if you don't know the difference, I could explain it to you. But he is a centrist liberal. Well, while I am a leftist. He's not far enough left for me, Tyler. He's not good enough for me. I wish he were more left. I wish he were an actual leftist. Let's start up Steam. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit the follow button, and tell us how you're feeling. I'm about to start up Death Must Die and play this very fun game, and the Lady Canooch can read me your feelings. Yes, Tyler, he tried to pass a Republican border bill that would make the people in the center and the people in the right happy with him. He wants to make everybody happy so he gets more votes. Right now, the Republicans have very well painted a crisis at the border. There isn't a crisis at the border. It's the same as it's always been. But they've painted it as such.
Oh, I forgot you are far left. Why I waste talking to an extremist? You don't even believe in America.
I love America. You maniac. What are you talking about? I love America. I love the fact that I can talk to you about this thing. I love the First Amendment. Republicans don't. They're the ones that are shutting it down right now. The Republicans are the ones that are shutting down free speech. The Republicans are the ones that are shutting down the right to abortion. Republicans are the ones that are shutting down the protests on those college campuses, shutting down free speech. The Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, is limiting free speech for people he disagrees with because he does not love America. He does not love the Constitution. He does not love the free speech of people he disagrees with. Well, I, on the very last stream I was on, talked about how the anti-Semitism bill...
You are more partisan than liberals themselves. This is amazing.
Am I more partisan than liberals themselves? Maybe. Leftism is the best way. It is the most correct. It is far more correct than centrism or right wing. Yes, I lean left. And I think it is the right way to do things. If I were a dishonest person, I would try to lie to you about it, but I'm not. I'm the most honest person you'll ever meet.
Death must die.
Death must die. Ooh, rampage attacks. All right.
Republicans, devils, Democrats, mostly angel.
No, Democrats are weak, spineless, and mediocre. But I'd prefer a mediocre Joe Biden to a fascist Donald Trump. I spent the entire first half of the stream complaining about Joe Biden and how he's doing a Republican thing to make the Republicans like him. And I don't like it. I wish he would do left-wing things. But he's not. Because the left is mad at him right now for his bad job on Palestine and Israel. And in an attempt, I mean, I'm sure you've heard the news about the weed reclassification, Tyler. Joe Biden is doing such a bad job with the youth that he went and pulled that one play. He's making moves on a chessboard, so to speak, to get the youth on his side.
Biden has done left stuff. That's why the right is mad at him.
No, the right is mad at him because he's not Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what he does. He just put together a right-wing bill that wouldn't that the Republicans wanted to vote for in the Senate, but Donald Trump told them not to. He put together a Republican border bill, and they shot it down because his name has a D behind it. They don't care what he does. There's a D behind his name. They cannot support him or any of the things that he says, even if they agree with it. That's what happened with that border bill. It was a Republican bill. The left hates that border bill. But he's pushing it, and the Republicans won't push it because it's got Biden's name on it. If that bill had been had Trump's name on it, then he would have supported it, and the Republicans would have supported it. Though if he wins, they will pass something probably stronger, but probably something similar. Does Biden do left stuff? Sometimes. I think he did one or two good things with unions and stuff like that earlier, which is nice, but it's a little bit too little too late. I wish he did left-leaning things. Or more of them, anyway. But I'm a leftist, and I've told you that. So, that is why I want him to do those things. That is why I support him when he does left-leaning things that support labor and support unions. And when he pushes to change the marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, I can see that as clearly, blatantly political. This is a move on a political board. I know that. I can see that. And hopefully you see that now too. He did it to get the kids on his side who are mad at him about the Israel choices that he made and the crackdown on the protests. Those protest crackdowns are happening while he's in charge. He could tell the not successfully.
Goddamn McCain, that thumbs down was the worst thing he could have ever done. That old fake hero. He were so close to repeal and replace the mess Obama left.
Replace with what, my man? Tyler, they were not going to replace it. They had no replace plan at the time. That is why he gave that thumbs down, because there was no replacement plan in place. There wasn't one. There never has been one. Republicans do not have a plan to replace. They repeal, they can possibly
Skinny
handle.
bill.
Skinny bill? Is that a thing that I just don't know about? For healthcare, they did not have a plan to replace it. And if they did, it would have been give insurance companies more money or cut the taxes of insurance and fuck off if you get sick. If you get dropped, it's probably your fault. See, if the insurance company drops you, it's probably your fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, make more money. That's the Republican plan, generally. If they have a better plan on healthcare, I'd listen to it. It's just that every time I hear it, it's just give big corporations more money.
Hear me.
And hell, I'll do your argument for you. Waldo, your plan is to give the government more money. Yes. Single
They
payer
would have
healthcare.
passed a skinny bill than Trump care.
What is Trump care? He has never put anything in writing about Trump care. He goes on TV and he just, here's what I'll describe Trump care to you. He goes on TV, he looks into the camera, Trump care will be wonderful, it'll be great, it'll be cheaper, it'll be wonderful, it'll be the best thing you've ever seen, it'll be amazing, it'll solve all your problems, it'll suck your dick, it'll make you feel good, it'll give you all the features that you've ever wanted, and you're going to be great and everybody's going to love it. That's it. There's no plan
Trump
there.
care is an oxymoron.
There's no plan. He has no actual policy. He has no papers. He has nothing written down. He has no laws in place. He has nothing documented to do Trump care. It's regular insurance the way they want to do it, however the fuck they want to do it. There is nothing there.
Obamacare is an oxymoron.
Obamacare has thousands of pages of policy written down on paper on how to carry it out. Trump care has none of that. That is why I don't trust them. They don't have anything written down. They don't have a plan. They say they have one, but most of their side hates government anyway, and hates big bills, and hates doing government work. I don't think Maytag even knows how to do her job. Beyond tomorrow's tweet, they have no idea what they're doing.
At Tyler the Goat 1, make up your own jokes.
So, yeah, Trump care, there is no such thing. If there are any details of it, I would read it. But honestly, I read through the 2025 policy plan. I read through that entire book. It is a nightmare and would just give insurance companies the go-ahead to do whatever the hell they want.
At Shinsinto is a shitball.
Trump care is just buy health insurance. And if you can't afford health insurance, fuck off. You go earn more money. And if you can't earn more money because you're sick, oh well. Guess maybe you can apply for Medicare, but we're going to cut that too. You know, they don't have plans. They do not give a shit about the sick people of America. They give a shit about the companies making more money. That is their job. Make those companies more profitable.
Trump care would be fire though, wouldn't it, Waldo?
No, it would literally be health insurance. Free market, wide open, pay you for health insurance and they'll drop you whenever the fuck they want. Pay for years and years and years, and if you get sick, well, they're just going to drop you. There will be no rules. The only rule would be make as much money from as many people as possible in the shortest amount of time. That's the only rule under Trump care.
It would be
millions of
lighting
Americans,
money on fire.
millions of Americans would get sick and die. That doesn't sound like fire to me, because I love America, remember? And I want the best for them. What I want is for them to be healthier and taken care of. What I don't want is for companies like greedy insurance companies to steal all their money and then leave them sick with no fucking way to pay their bills. The insurance companies are stealing from America and Americans right now, and that irritates the hell out of me because I care for the country. And honestly, yes, the left complains about America, but but from a different direction. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Conservatives think of the government or the country.
No, cuz if you put rough edges and rules but let the free market play out, it's different.
No, the free market will just take all the money. If the free market is left truly free, they will take everything.
But won't someone think of the capitalism?
Won't somebody please think about the capitalists? Poor babies are going to be all alone out there in the cold. Free markets work for some things, but not healthcare because it is an inelastic need. There is no amount of money that I will not give you. Let's take regular, commodities, regular items. There's a skateboard. Okay, great, skateboards.
Waldo, please be honest. Are you a communist?
No, I'm a market socialist. There's a difference. Market socialism is the way to go. And I'm about to describe it to you. There should be a market for skateboards. I'm okay with this. If you want free market for skateboards, I'm on board. I like it. If the skateboard costs too much, I will simply choose not to buy it.
Shit, I knew you were a communist.
Market socialist. You don't know the difference. I'm about to explain it to you. If there's a market for skateboards, I can look at that market. I can choose whether or not to buy a skateboard. If they're $3,000, I won't buy one. If they're $70 and one of them is $75, I can look at the market and determine which one I would rather have. This is acceptable for skateboards. It's acceptable for clothes. It's acceptable for maybe for cars. Yeah, I think it's acceptable for cars. It's acceptable for most things. That is not acceptable for the medicine you need to live. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable for the medicine my child needs to live. How much money, Tyler, would you give for your child to live? All of it. And then some. Then you'll go and find some more. Then you'll go and borrow some. And then you'll steal some. And then you'll find a way to weasel some out of somebody else, and then you'll give that too. It's an inelastic market. And that means you cannot have it be free.
Bernie is a communist, just that you know he ain't a real American.
Bernie is a SOCDEM. But again, you've been told that he's a communist. He's calls himself a socialist as well. He's a socialist Democrat. He's a SOCDEM. I don't think Bernie's even a communist. So, the more you need it to be alive, the less I want it to be controlled on, or less I want it to be under the forces of those free markets. Those free markets, much like medicine today and housing, are running amok. There's a reason those are the issues that we have right now. It's because free markets are ruining those parts of our country. And then American people, who I love, suffer. And I don't want them to suffer.
Go to Venezuela and see how socialism, communism played out there.
Venezuela is a completely different country, sir. Or had you not known? I am American. I was born in America, in fact. And I would like to make my country, which is America, better. Because it is my child. And I think that's where the issue is. Conservatives generally see the country and the government and the United States as their parent. I don't see it that way. The country is my child. You see? And because of that, I will make sure it's better than it once was. I will work
By
to make
turning
it
it
better.
socialist.
By turning it socialist, yes. That would be better for our country. It would be better for our people. It would be better for you. And I want the world to be better for you, Tyler. I do. I don't want you to have to spend millions of dollars on cancer treatments. I don't want you to do that. I want everybody together to come to an agreement that we all pay for this stuff together. Everybody pays in a little, and we abandon.
Ha ha ha, OMG, don't crack me up.
I'm not even kidding. I want you to have a better life. I want you to have a better world. I want the world your grandkids are born into to be better than the one that it is today. And I don't want to go backward. Maybe I'll turn this one into too short. Here we go. Tyler, if I were suddenly elected president, you know what I would do? I would find the hardest right-wing person, and I would bring him out of his house, and I would get right in his face, and I'd look him into his eye, and you know what I'd do? I'd raise his wages. And then I'd find his wife, and I'd get his wife out there, and you know what I'd do? I'd give her health care. Then I'd find his son, and that's this hard right-wing guy. I'd kneel down and look right into his son's eyes. You know what I'd do? Pay for his education. Nightmare monster that I am. That's what I would do. Oops. Did I switch it back? I didn't. Oop. There we go. See, that's what I want for the country. That's what I want for the country's people. Because I like them, because I care for them, because I think that they're important and valuable and human. Humans are pretty cool. I like them. I would like them to continue living. I would like them to get what they need without dying to get it. I would like people to have lives.
Taking his bootstraps away, you monster.
I know. I would take his bootstraps away. I mean, he'd probably still have to work and pay taxes and things like that, but it wouldn't be for a profit-seeking company. And Tyler, I'm going to tell you the secret of my all my stances right here. It's that I really don't trust.
And inflation will rise uncontrollably, and you'll be impeached and removed from office.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. We'll tax the rich to pay for it. I know, that's terrifying as well. And they're unhappy about that, but they benefited the most, and they have the most, and they can share. They can pay their fair share, as Bernie likes to say. So yes, I would retool the tax structure for the people who have the most to pay more. And then absolutely kill all of for-profit insurance. It's a scam anyway, Tyler. For-profit insurance is a gigantic nightmare of a scam that our great-grandkids are going to learn about in school and not believe that we would fall for such a thing.
They already pay a lot.
No, they don't. They told you that, Tyler. They lied to you. They don't.
They do.
They don't. But even under a Republican tax plan, they would end up paying all of the taxes. Because trickle up would happen, and all the money would go to the top, and they would be the only people who have money. And the poor people would never get any, and never have any, would never be able to pay any taxes, because they have literally nothing. That is the Republican plan, where cut the taxes of the rich until nobody has anything at the bottom anymore, and they're the only people who do pay a small amount of taxes, and then the government goes bankrupt.
We need trickle-down economics. Trump needs to get back ASAP.
Trickle-down doesn't work. Never has, never will. It never trickles down. It never does that. It never does it. It just stays at the top. Also, you think Trump's going to do anything about taxes? Well, he's going to have enough staff if he wins, and there's a chance that he does. He will have enough staff on the from the Project 2025 list that will get the things passed that help themselves. But he's going to go on his revenge tour.
So tickle up.
Trickle up? Yeah, that's what their plan actually is. The Republican plan is trickle up, and they lie to you and call it trickle down. They're lying. I'm talking about redistribution. I know that you just had an aneurysm right there. I suspect. I can see through this camera into your house, Tyler. You just had a little stroke there when I said redistribute wealth. Yes, that's true. That is what I want to do. But you've been poisoned. You've been told that that's the worst possible thing that could ever exist. Is redistribution of wealth is the worst, most terrible nightmare to ever exist. But I'm telling you, it's how society works. It's how it's always worked. Even trickle down is a form of redistribution of the wealth.
That sounds communist to me, but hey, we have free speech.
Even trickle down is redistributing the wealth. It's just doing it in a way they prefer. They want to do it in the way that the rich people prefer. They're the ones that caused this problem. The rich people have caused this problem. I will not ask them how to fix it. I mean, the millionaires tell me that if they pay people $1 more an hour, they'll all go out of business, but I have to take their word on how to run the economy. Like, fuck off. If you knew how to run the economy, you could run it while paying them $1 more. You know? That was a bad call. I'm going to have extra damage for the next 2 minutes until minute 17, which means the bomb boys are going to come out and wreck me. It was a bad call. I wish I had come across that guy sooner. But market socialism, yes. The more important it is to you being alive, the less I want the free market to control it. I think free markets controlling oxygen would be a bad call. I think free markets controlling your insulin is a bad call. I think free markets controlling your medicine is a bad call. Free markets controlling your houses is something I would work against. I would slowly, over 50 years or so, try and square that one away. Because you need a house to live in. You need shelter. You need water. Food, shelter, water, those kinds of things I would see towards decommodifying. Bomb guys. Well, maybe I can take them. Nice. I might survive this. Tornadoes turn red, yes. Communist, yeah, well, market socialism, I think, is the way to go. It's not full socialization, and you could go step by step, and if you fail, if something goes wrong, if my brilliant plans to decommodify housing go wrong, hopefully you could undo it. In which case, that's why we would need the right-wing people. We would need the people who do drive us backward, to put the car in R and go backward. And that's why I like listening to them. That's why I like listening to you on stream. You're very annoying in Discord. But on the stream here, if you gave me policy ideas or pushed for specific policy initiatives, I could vet those, read them, think about what they mean and how they would be applied. These are the good things that I want. That's the thing that interests me. Is there any right-wing thing that I would kind of agree with? Maybe...
You know how some...
maybe normal gun laws? I mean, I don't know. I kind of agree with the idea of having a waiting period and a what's the word? A background check and all that fun stuff. kill the loopholes. I don't know. Is there any right-wing thing that you can think of that I might agree with? The First Amendment? The right wing seems to like that. I do too. Second Amendment seems fine if we're not intentionally breaking it. But it's a good way to get a whole lot of people mad at you, is talk about gun rights and stuff like that. So what would I suggest? I would suggest that
You must be doing.
it's okay to have different gun laws for different places. Montana needs different gun laws than Illinois. Downtown Chicago. Downtown Chicago needs different gun laws than the wild open pastures of Montana. That makes sense to me. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that one at all. What I do mind is the fact that we're not tracking the guns. It makes all the sense in the world to track them. I know that the right wing really gets mad at me when I say this, but I want to know who has what and why and when. Not why, but I want to set up an online database that you just register the damn thing, just like your car. I have a car that's registered to me right now. I can use that to kill people, sure, but we would know whose it is, and it has a number on it, and they know it's my car. And if it were involved in a crime, the police would come and get me. If my car ran over 17 protesters last night, or if a car ran over 17 protesters last night, and then the cops got the video of it, they looked at the license plate, they would come to my house and check on me and ask me what the hell happened. This makes sense. I don't know why we can't do that for guns. And the reason, honestly, that most of the time the people give me is because, well, they don't want the government to know what guns they have. Well, too bad. Your terrified fear of the your fear of a dystopian apocalypse is preventing me from solving the problems of our current apocalypse. You know, our current dystopia has a problem with guns, and your fear of a future dystopia is preventing me from solving it. That kind of irritates me.
Sorry, Dad.
Ooh, skeletons.
They're just.
So, skeletons level up, or this one? There we go. Oh, we're gonna make it to the boss. I do not have enough room. Let's toss some junk. Blues out. Okay. All right. And we made it to the boss. Here he comes in 9 seconds. Should be able to kill him, I think. Ah, there's a skill up here that I'm not going to be able to get. You bastard. Alright, boss time. I hate that move. But yeah, hit me up on any political situation. I think I have an opinion on just about anything, and if I don't, I can just make one up. There we go. Boss dead. So yeah, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, if you're here in chat, hop into chat, give me your political hot take, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, and we can feel it together. If you've got links to
I made it.
fun stuff, Mouseidian's here. Thank God you're here. If you're here, tell us what you're thinking, tell us what you're feeling. Come here, Bobo. Come here. I'm trying to get the Bobo to come onto the screen, but he's hiding under the desk. What are you doing, Bobo? There he is. It's a Bobo. He's down there biting my toes, trying to get me to play fetch with him. Yeah. Sorry, Bo. It's stream time. I can't do fetch right now. Maybe later. I don't think he cares. He does not care about you, streamer. You audience. He does not care about you. I'm sorry. This little monster does not care about you. He doesn't. He just cares about fetch. And there are 4
Gotta
toys.
get that Dogo algorithm up.
I know. There are 4 toys underneath my feet right now. It is very difficult to stream while having your toes bitten. Have you ever tried that? Have you ever tried to live stream
I think is a form of therapy and should be covered by insurance.
Now, I could almost agree with that. It is a form of therapy. D&D is a form of therapy and could be covered. Maybe we could start nonprofit clubs. I think you'd be better off that way. I don't know if I want to push it governmentally anyway. So we're playing fetch now with the doggo. Go get it. That won't last long. He will be back. Anywho's it. Yes, give us your political hot takes. What do you think about Israel? What do you think about Palestine? What do you think about the things Biden did? What do you think about the weed stuff? You tell me what you're feeling, and then we can feel it together. Or if you've got stories or suggestions on what to talk about, you can put it in the Discord.
Discord.
Oh, well, if you spell it right, it shows up as a link.
Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8.
Go there. Send me links. Tell me what to talk about next and what sort of news we should look at. In the meantime, the Lady Canooch will read your thoughts out loud for everyone to hear, and I'm going to play this game some more. Boop, boop. There we go. Okay. We've got skill points for the skill tree. Have I maxed it out? I think I have, haven't I? All dog. There we go. That was the easiest skill tree I've ever done. All maxed out into the wolf. So now I gotta think I get a bigger wolf. Let's go find another dog. See if there's any good weapons down here. No. We'll put that in the bank and worry about it later. Put you in there. Oh, did you guys see this? Did I show you this on the last stream? This is called the colorless rainbow. When you equip it, the game turns black and white. And then all the color goes away. I love stupid little gimmicky things like this, but it makes me happy. When you take it off, all the color comes back. I like it. It's silly and stupid and doesn't help.
That's great.
I know. Wait, was that a red bow? It was. Let's save that for later too, just in case. Pop you in there. Then we
Actual colorblind mode.
Yeah, colorblind mode. Yeah, like actually, you're colorblind now.
Did you talk about Trump being a petulant child in court?
Yeah, we mentioned it. He has. He went and he cried very loudly about how his First Amendment is being contained, and it is on one specific subject only, and that is the subject of the people involved with the trial. He's allowed to go on TV and talk about his tax plans. He's allowed to go on there and talk about Israel. He's allowed to go on there and talk about the protests. He's allowed to talk about Biden. He's allowed to talk about 99.9% of the entire universe. He's allowed to talk about. He's allowed to go on there and talk about rocket science if he damn well felt like it. Only thing he's not allowed to talk about is the people involved in the trial in which he is a defendant. That makes sense. That makes a ton of sense, and it is not the first gag order.
The first gag order that's ever been issued, apparently.
He thinks it's the first gag order to ever have been issued by anybody ever, I think. He was talking about how it's ridiculous and it's the first time it's ever happened, and I'm like, well, no, gag orders happen all the time, my guy. You just don't know it. So, yeah, him being told not to do a thing is the most awful thing that's ever happened to him.
Check out Waldo's videos, https www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos.
It's because he has affluenza.
If it was his political opponent in trial, he would be slamming them left and right, ridiculing them for not being able to keep their mouth shut.
Right, and you're absolutely right on that. He would do whatever he wants. He would say, oh, well, this is obviously... they're obviously guilty. The accusation is enough for him to complain about Joe Biden all the time. He accuses Joe Biden of crimes all the time, says that they're true. Joe Biden's not in court. Even the Republican-run impeachment is a joke. They have brought no evidence, and every time they bring witnesses, the witnesses work against them and do the opposite of helping their case. But, and I mentioned this earlier, but I don't think Republicans use the word political correctly. They don't know what that word means. To them, Donald Trump being on the side of Jan 6 supporters and talking about how great they are and helping them out of jail and donating money to them to help them get out of jail is not political. But if he said it today, we showed a video of it earlier, of Donald Trump saying that some of the people that are paying for the college protesters also donated to Joe Biden. And according to him, that's highly political and entirely unacceptable. Can you guys see the dog? No, you can't. Well, kind of almost. He's down here still. He won't leave me alone today. Sorry, everybody, but I don't know. Maybe it makes the stream better. I don't know. It's not making it any worse. That's for sure. So yeah.
Hand check.
Hand check. No, this is a dog. I promise. It's a dog. He's playing tug of war with me right now. He's fighting with me. Let me see if I can get it on cam. Let's see if we can do it. I don't want to move the camera around too much, but okay. There he is. Get it. There he is. Look at him. Get it, Bubba. And if I let go, he'll kill it. Get it. Kill it. Oh, he's killing it. He's got it. It's going to die. All right. Put this camera back there. It's held very loosely in place with like duct tape. Let's bring it back down.
He got IT.
He got it. All right. There we go. All right. I think we're good. Didn't ruin the entire stream by doing that. Okay, good. Anyway. Yes. He whined and he cried about how everybody's mean to him and he never gets anything and he's the biggest victim ever and nobody's ever had a gag order on them before and they're taking away his First Amendment rights. Well, none of that's true. He is specifically not allowed to talk about the people on the trial. That's it. You're involved. He's allowed to talk about anything else. He can go on the campaign trail.
Bible thump.
Yeah, he's allowed to do Bible thump. So he's allowed to do anything he wants except talk about the people involved in that trial, and that's what irritates him. He hates being told what he cannot do. He believes himself to be magic, superpowered, and a better person than normal. He thinks that he is special. He's a birthday boy. He's the most perfect and special person that ever exists. He's a narcissist, so he doesn't think that he should play by the rules that everybody else does because he is special. And so when this very special boy has to follow the normal rules like a normal person, it feels to him like a holocaust. It feels in his bones like he's being mistreated. And I don't think that we should allow that to go on for much longer. I don't think we should reward that behavior. So yes, the judge has threatened to throw him in jail and might. It's because he doesn't follow the rules. He doesn't feel like he needs to. And we showed a Newt Gingrich clip. You should go back and watch it. Malcidian. Newt Gingrich just talks about how Donald Trump shouldn't have to follow the rules and shouldn't have to follow the law. I mean, they're just flat out saying it now. Republican people who are running for Republican president and who were president in the past do not have to follow the law anymore. That is what Newt Gingrich said tonight. I saw him say it. He does not respect the law. He does not respect order. He is a hypocrite. I've said it 1,000 times.
Then what the fuck are checks and balances?
There are none. The checks and balances are only to be applied to Democrats. The laws are to protect Republicans and harm Democrats. That is the plan from Newt Gingrich. That is what he wants. He wants this to apply to you. He wants it to apply to me. He wants it to apply to people who are getting speeding tickets. Like, if...
This sounds pretty anti-American to me.
It sure does. Newt Gingrich does not respect America. He does not want good things for the American people. He wants power for himself and the people he appreciates and the people he likes. That's what he wants. It's not American. It's not democratic. It's not law and order. They have stopped being that. The Republicans have stopped being those things. They're not law and order anymore. They're not on board for the Constitution. They want the Constitution to protect them and harm their enemies. That is what they want.
I am throwing in my hat for Republican presidential candidate. You can't stop me from robbing this bank. It's election interference.
Exactly. And I think, Shinsinto, you'd have to have a few Republican voters before they would, and you'd have to toe the entire party line before they accept you. You can't just throw it out there because they just call you a Democrat. They just say that you're a agitator and you watched Waldo streams, and then they'd find every social media post you've ever made in your entire life, and they would determine that you're actually a dirty, filthy lib, or a Biden voter, or something along those lines, or you donated to Hillary Clinton, or you donated to Bill Clinton in 1996, and they would call it proof positive that you are not a Republican. And I get it. You're not in the team. You're not on the team. You have to be on the team first before you go robbing the bank. So if you want to break all the laws, become a Republican, and then become famous, and then you can break the laws. You have to do it in that order. Shinsuto, you're doing it out of order. You're breaking the laws and then becoming a Republican. You can
imagine trying to hold wickedness up to the light to be judged.
I know, terrible idea. They would hate that. You can run it the Elon way. You can be rich and famous and then become Republican.
Ain't nobody got time for that long con.
I know. That's the only way it'll work, though. You can do the Elon route, but you have to be rich and famous, and then on a Tuesday you say, oh, hey, I'm Republican. And then on Wednesday, when the news drops that you sexually assaulted somebody, you can be like, oh, that's just the Dems trying to get me. They also appreciate that. The Republicans appreciate that. That's a plan that they're okay with. Apparently, they love that shit.
That's why I am trying to rob that bank.
I know, but you gotta become a Republican first, become rich and famous, and well, okay, let's work on Shinsinto robbing this bank. This is a good plan. This is a good call. I'm on board. So, what do we have to do? We have to make you rich and famous. Have you tried buying the bank? Now, if you just get the credit the right way, I think you can do some. I don't know how the economy works. So leverage and reverse and what are those things called? Shorts. Yeah, short stocks. You got to leverage and short stock so that you have enough to pretend and convince one bank that you have a lot of money. Then you can buy a bank and then not pay for it. In which case you never pay them when they come and ask you for the bills. You have to create some sort of Ponzi scheme, and once you're doing that, you come out as a local Republican and things like that, and then they will protect you. So maybe, if you're doing a Ponzi scheme and a bank thing, if you're just...
My company's stock isn't worth enough to take out a loan against it.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get on that grind set. Have you tried Medicare fraud? That worked out well for the Republican governor of Florida.
This sounds familiar, saying you own more value than you really do to get a bigger loan him.
I know, right? It's almost like somebody has tried before, lying to the bank about how much your stuff is worth, and then they give you a bigger loan at a lower interest rate. Then you lie on your taxes about how it's not really worth that much. So the Republicans will protect you if you do that, Malcidian, as we've seen.
It's what Bezos does.
It's what Bezos does, yeah, absolutely. And so you should do that. If you do that and then rob the bank, you don't have to rob it anymore. You just you don't have to rob it anymore. You just foreclose on them, take all the stuff that's in there.
Pretty sure I am thinking of Obama.
You might have been. Is that why the Republicans hated him so much? I don't think it was. Why they hated him so much.
XD.
They hated him for something else. I can't put my finger on it. Or can I? I can. So yeah, Shinsedo, the trick is not to kick in the door and steal the stuff. No. You gotta leverage yourself and then buy the thing and then never pay your bills. And then sell it off to a third party or something like that, where you get the money and they have to go to that third party to get paid back or something along those lines. Yeah, that's pretty common
They
standard.
hate him for lying on his birth certificate, so evil, lying just as you're born.
I know, right? He was lying right to the people. When he was born, they said, hey, where were you born? And one day, old Obama said, oh, Hawaii? And then the Kenyans are like, what? He's like, trust me. This will make sense later. And so yeah, the trick is not to rob the place. The trick is to buy the place and then sell
EH, trust me, Hawaii is EH where I was born.
it. That's what he said on the first day he was alive. It's true. And he had to pick way out there, liberal Hawaii, where nobody is, because if he had done it in one of the real states, we would have known. That's racist towards Hawaiians. Waldo, you're canceled. Sorry. I know. Hawaii is part of the United States. I agree. It was just a joke. Don't cancel me, brah. Oh, laser cat. I hate laser cats. So yeah,
More like Gazer Cat.
Gazer cat, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, that's the news. What's today? Today is Monday, so I will be gonna finish this run in about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll probably call it for the night. Usually, yeah, knock off about 9 o'clock. Should I do some day streams or something like that? I've got some time on my hands, so I might do a day stream tomorrow just so I can play this game some more. And have the TTS turned on the whole time, stuff like that. Or should I look for people to talk to? So that's the other thing that I've been thinking about is like, how do I get more people jumping in chat? Not that I don't like you guys, you're great, but I gotta get lots of chatters, right? How do I get lots more viewers and that kind of stuff? So I need you, the viewers, to like tell me what to talk about, tell me what to stream, what news sources to look at, who to talk to, who to collab with, all that fun stuff, and we can grow. As you see news pop up over the week, if I'm not streaming already, just pop it into the Discord and we can talk about it once I get here. I always forget to do that myself, so I'm gonna have you guys do it for me. What I try to do is pay attention to the things as I see them and then pop them into a browser so that I can look at them later and talk about them on the stream. Any game suggestions for the stream would be good too. So if you've got a game you think I should try, I heard Hades might have launched today or something like that. Hades 2. I think it's just a dev version or something like that. So I'm probably not going to play it until it comes out for like an official release or something like that.
The Last Spell.
The Last Spell. Yeah, you mentioned that one in the past, so I remember that one. I may have it on Epic Games already. I'm not entirely sure if I do or not. If not, I'll pick it up and give that a shot because I think it would do really well. I think you're right. I looked at it after you suggested it, and I think it would do really well on stream. As soon as I'm done with this one. But that just means I have to stream more so I can finish this game. And I think I am kind of finished with this game. I've just beat the boss again. I'm not super into getting max skill tree for all of the characters, but maybe I will. At least for one more. I already have it maxed out for the bow guy, the magician, and this character now, so that's 3. I really don't like the assassin much, but I might do sword guy next. So that's what I think I'll do. I think I'll try and do stream tomorrow afternoon. Just play this game with sword guy. Level him up, get him to the top of the skill tree. The bottom of the skill tree if you really think about it, because you go down with it, obviously. Dead boss. Alright. It's a dog nipping at my toes. Let's see. Anything? You guys watched any good movies lately? I watched Return of the Jedi with my son the other day on May the 4th. It's going pretty well. He's enjoying it. I'm giving him the deep lore, all that fun stuff. He's old enough to like pay attention to them. I think we watched it when he was like 3 or 4, but he was like, "Yeah, let's see Yoda," and then like we started watching A New Hope, and he was like, "Where's Yoda?" I'm like, "Well, sorry, boss, he's not in this one." He just ran around like an idiot, as 4-year-olds do. That's just a thing they do. So he's old enough now to kind of appreciate them, and it's super fun. So we watched Return of the Jedi the other night, and it's going pretty well. And then power slot, no, maybe, no. Let me see. I watched any good anime lately. I talked Ponathan into watching Ranking of Kings, which if you haven't seen that, that's a super good one. Ranking of Kings. The art style will throw you off, but trust me, it's delightful and wholesome, and then surprisingly dark out of nowhere. And you're like, wait, where did that come from? It's nice, it's pleasant, it has...
The last movie I watched was either Starship Troopers or Advent Children.
Advent Children. I watched that one a couple of times too. I have no idea what happened. Dude, I could not tell you the plot of Advent Children if I wanted to.
Israel must submit to the United States of America and never disobey our leaders.
I don't think I'm would go that far, the opinionator. I would like them to be an ally. I would like them to not do bad things.
Spicy.
Yeah, I would like them to do good things for us if they're going to be our ally and we're going to help them. They can just be a normal country. Can you just be normal, Palestine? Please, just be normal. Damn it. Why aren't you just normal?
Oh, you wouldn't. We give them money. We told them not to invade Rafah. They better listen.
Well, exactly. They're not being a good ally right now. They've asked for our help. We gave them our help. And now they're doing whatever the hell they want. And when they're doing a bad thing, we should have the balls, but Biden doesn't have the balls, to tell them not to do that. Because he is a milquetoast, middle-of-the-road Democrat who's generally slightly spineless. That's the problem with our current... Bark boy, what are you barking at? That is the problem with our current setup, is that we've got milquetoast, middle-of-the-road...
Trump would make Israel cooperate. Biden is too weak.
No. Trump would... Trump would help the Palestinians kill the rest of the Israelis. And then when the news media says, hey, that was 7,000 women and children and orphans and grandmas that you just killed, Trump would say, yeah, they were all part of Hamas. Those were Hamas babies, you see. That's what Trump would do. He'd look you right in the camera. He'd look you right in the eye and say, those were Hamas babies. It would get the conflict over sooner. I mean, it would get it done sooner, but it would just kill them all. Those were Hamas grandmas, you see. Those were Hamas widows that were hiding in the basement from the bombs. Those were terrorist children. Don't you? What part of that don't you understand? You weak-kneed lib. That's what he would do.
I don't know about all that. Trump is a deal maker and business guy. First he'd try and get a deal made. Nana fell on hard times and joined Hamas.
He's not a deal maker, the opinionator. He pretends to be. That's his. That's what he prides himself on. But honestly, he just does whatever the hell he wants. And if you can benefit him, he will work with you to benefit him. It's not a deal. That's what can you do for me? And if you can't do anything to me, you're kicked to the curb. But because he has power and authority and money, people come to him for those things. If he were a deal maker, perhaps he would have plans to replace the things in the American government that he doesn't like. He hates Obamacare. He has zero plan to replace it. Nothing. He's got no idea.
Trump is a bull in a china shop.
I think that's a good...
Look, man, you guys had Biden for 4 years. We suffered through it, and November is coming up. We are gonna put Trump back in office at the voting booth. Get used to it, settle up, and get cozy.
There's a chance that he wins, yes. I've said that before. There's a non-zero chance that he wins. I don't think he will at the moment. Biden just made a bunch of moves to try and get the kids on his side. I blatantly recognize them as moves. He did that thing with the weed the other day, the rescheduling of marijuana, gets the kids on his side. He's going to try and pass some more immigration legislation and stuff like that to tell people about how great he is. He's weak-kneed and he's middle of the road. But I would prefer a milquetoast Democrat like Biden to a fascist like Trump. I mean...
Democrats bribing kids with drugs, L.
Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. The opinionator, yes. He's bribing the kids with drugs. But that's what a politician's supposed to do.
That aggressive rhetoric says little. It's pretty us versus them. We need to focus on what's good for the country, not how we can shove shit in each other's face. Bro, kids don't vote.
I know they don't. The teenagers and the people in college right now tend to sometimes vote. It depends. If they're in love with the guy. They came out, the youth vote was huge for Obama, right? So how did that happen? Because they were in love with him. The right tends to fall in line, and the left falls in love. The kids loved Obama, so they came out for him. They hate Trump, so they came out for Biden somewhat. But even his youth vote turnout was really low. So what's he trying to do? He's trying to make moves. He's trying to get them all on his side. This is typical politics. This is what politicians are actually supposed to do. They're supposed to say, hey, here's the law. You told me you don't like it. Here's how I'm going to change it. That's actual politician stuff. Hey, the people who vote for me say they don't like this thing. Here's how I want to change it. And then he changes it. That's how the system's supposed to work. You're not supposed to just plan revenge against your political rivals all day. and fight to avoid being
I remember
impeached.
on election night in 2016, all you guys thought Hillary had it in the bag and were calling it for her until all the Trump voters got off from work and went to vote L.
And yeah, that was a thing that people were doing. Yeah, they didn't think that Trump could win because I'm going to agree with her here. He had a basket of deplorables. He really did. It was the smartest thing that Hillary's ever said. She was correct. That there was that basket of deplorables who were going to vote for him out of spite because they did not like her. She did not do anything to help them like her. She is not a likable person. I agree. Don't get me started on Hillary Clinton. She's unlikable. I know this. Would she have done a better job? Yes, she would have done a better job than Trump. But she's still not likable. You don't have to appreciate her for that. But not to relitigate the entirety of 2016.
I stopped paying attention after the DNC fucked Bernie. I default voted left for Hillary after that, not thinking the country would vote for a literal clown.
Yeah, and that is a problem. I really didn't think Trump could win until I went and watched that Michael
Basket
Moore
of
movie.
deplorables, really, dude. It'll just remain a mystery to you guys why so many of us want nothing to do with Democrats, leftists at sea.
Basket of deplorables is the most correct thing she's ever said in her entire life. And I would stand by anybody who said it. She was correct. And you know what? Obama was right when he said cling to your guns and religion. They're both talking about the same thing. And they're both correct. But you've been triggered by that word.
I think a wet bag of cement would have done better than Trump.
They'd have a hard time signing their name. But you, the opinionator, just got triggered when I said deplorables.
Cool, so don't be confused when we don't want to vote for people like Hillary.
I recognize why you don't want to vote for her. She's not likable. She's not very nice. She's not very polite. She's not going to baby you and coddle you and tell you the things that make you feel better. I think she's a bit too real.
Well, she's also an evil bitch pole.
She's also an evil
Lol.
bitch, yes. But what she also does is told you a thing that you didn't like. The deplorables bit, the bit that Obama talked about cling to their guns and religion, these are true statements.
Bro, she
They're not
said
very
you
nice.
Bernie guys are all losers who live in mommy's basement.
Yes, she's a bitch.
And she tries to cozy up to minorities by saying she carries around hot sauce.
She's not very good at being a politician. She's better at policy, if that makes sense. She's better at policy. She's better at writing the bills, getting them passed, discussing with Nancy Pelosi and or the whoever's running the House. Right now, if President Hillary Clinton wanted some shit through the House, she would go to Mike Johnson, our current head of Speaker of the House, talk to him, figure out what he would need, and
Yeah,
then get
she
it
was
passed.
a terrible pick from the DNC.
She's a bad pick on personality, but I think she would have been better on policy, which I tend to appreciate. Is she annoying? Is she stupid? Does she call me a loser? Does she do the thing with the hot sauce? Is she a dumb bitch? Yes. All of those things are true. She would still be a better choice than Donald Trump.
Oh Lord, no, we don't want Hillary policies, lol.
Yes, we do actually. She would get policies passed. I think she would have gotten more things done than Donald Trump. He got shut down all the time because his shit was just unconstitutional. It happened a lot. It happened often. He would go out with a thing, he would put out an idea, or he would just tweet a motherfucking idea, and then all his guys were like, how the hell do we make that happen? And then they would put some shit in writing, and then they would get shot down because it's unconstitutional and not within their scope.
Yeah,
happened
not
all
a
the
fan
time.
of Hillary. She is the perfect Democrat on paper. A bunch of political nerds in a vacuum propped up Hillary and fucked over a very strong Bernie candidate.
Yes, they did.
We really don't, bro. She wanted to institute a no-fly zone over Syria. We dodged World War III with her loss.
I don't know all the details of that off the top of my head, but maybe. I'm not saying you're wrong there. Maybe that could have happened. But did we get World War III from Donald Trump? No, almost. I mean, I think we got close a couple of times with the bombing of Soleimani. Honestly, that was just a straight up fucking assassination of Iran's favorite people. It was very strange that he would do so. That's dangerous. Anyway, it didn't cause World War III. Hopefully, we're not in World War III right now. Maybe, if we're lucky, the Russians don't start firing off nukes. They might, but even if they do, I have a feeling a lot of their nukes aren't going to work, just like their tanks didn't work, just like their soldiers aren't actually trained, just like their equipment wasn't actually maintained. Nuclear missiles are very difficult and very complicated to put together to operate.
Democrats want war, which is crazy to me cause the beta male liberal types aren't the ones who make up most of the military.
The Democrats don't want war. How would you suggest that they want war? A no-fly zone over Syria is a policy choice. If you, opinionator, think that will cause escalation, then she doesn't think that it will cause escalation. That's just a difference in
Wow,
opinions.
that's a random take.
I know. How would Dems want war? I don't think they do. I mean, it was John McCain who sang the song "Bomb, Bomb, 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 Bomb."
It's true though, lol.
No, how? We want Russia not to start stealing land from Ukraine. So we gave weapons and stuff to our ally, the country of Ukraine. They're our ally. We promised to protect them from Russia when they gave us their nukes. Ukraine had nukes that were put there by the Russians when they were part of the USSR. USSR collapsed. We went to them and said, hey, if you give those to us, we will protect you from Russia. It was a thing our government did, and we should honor that.
Right wing means no wars, less taxes. Left is more wars, open borders, high taxes. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
I can't.
Oh, it's true, cause he said it was got it pulling stuff out his ass.
Do you have perhaps some
that
evidence?
Doesn't seem correct to me. Some deep state elite might want war or something, but Democrats as a working body, I don't buy it.
I know it's the Democrats that are it's the left-leaning kids that are in there doing protests right now. It's the left that are protesting the war in Gaza right now. It's the Democrats that are slightly supporting it. That's the left-leaning politicians. And Donald Trump himself today told us that the people supporting the protests are Democrats. Those are anti-war protests. It was the dirty, rotten left-wing hippies in the 60s who protested the Vietnam War. It was Richard Nixon, the right-wing Republican, who pushed for that Vietnam War. And it was George W. that pushed for going into Afghanistan, into Iraq instead of Afghanistan. He did both at the same time. Here, it's falling in my face.
The lefties love their military contracts, apparently.
They do like that, but that's just capitalism. The Democrats are capitalists.
True, but Democrats are only against wars when it's brown people. They're pro-war when it's against Russia, cause they still blame Putin for Hillary losing.
They're pro-war when it's against Russia. Russia is invading another country right now. They're stealing someone else's land because they want to. What? Are you against Ukraine defending themselves? I don't know. It's weird why you would do such a thing. It doesn't make a ton of sense if you ask me. Ukraine has a country. They have borders. They have stuff like that. And Russia is doing an invasion. They're doing 19th century invasions too. They're not even doing the new kind of stuff where you create a third party, and they're just taking someone else's land. I can't. And they're an ally, you know? We promised to help Ukraine when this happens because we expected it to happen.
That's really not the narrative you're going with, right? 2014 called Euromaidan coup wants to chat, bro. Let's keep up with the news.
Euromaidan. I don't know what your point is. The point is, they're our ally. They asked for help. We should help them. Is there a reason we shouldn't help them? Because Dems want it? Is there any? If you got a better reason than that, why shouldn't we help them? Why shouldn't we help Ukraine when they ask us for help defending their land from
Bro,
someone
you
stealing?
don't know about the coup in 2014, H.
Okay. The 2014.
Okay, this is gonna take a while.
I'm off the top of my head. Yes, 2014. They overthrew. Zelensky took over, and they overthrew. Was it what was that guy's name? He was a Putin puppet. He was a bitch to Vladimir Putin, and they threw him out after he proved himself to be a bitch to Vladimir Putin. Yes, the people did that, and I'm on board for it. If we had absolute proof that Maytag, Marjorie Taylor Greene, was a bitch for Vladimir Putin, we should run her out of office. We should get rid of her. We should impeach her. We should remove her from the wheels of power, from the halls of power. We should get her out of there. If the regular part of the government doesn't work, then things start to get violent. And
He
stuff
wasn't
like
a Putin puppet you're talking about. Yanukovych.
Yanukovych.
Also, Zelensky originally ran on closer relations with Russia, so your Putin puppet label could apply to him as well.
He ran on closer relations with Russia. Okay. And if Russia fucked him over after that, then you can change your position and say, hey, they did something bad. They have not helped us. Let's stop being with them. That's fine. Yanukovych is the one I was talking about. Yes. Yanukovych
So
was a
patronizing,
bitch.
get over yourself, just a little opinionator. You can make your points without pulling the knife.
Yanukovych was a Putin puppet. Are you disputing that sentence, opinionator? Because I think that that's absolutely a correct
Admalcity,
statement.
you know, this is me going easy, lol, trust me.
I know. I don't know everything about everything. I pretend to sometimes. But no, I don't
dispute
remember.
that claim, yes.
You dispute that claim. The people
Even worse.
The people of Ukraine thought that that was the case. That's why they threw him out. That's why they did not want him in charge. That's why Yanukovych ran and hid in Russia, didn't he? When he was overthrown, when they tossed him out, he ran to Vladimir Putin, did he not? I'm going to Google Yanukovych real quick. All right, where are you, Internet? So yes, that's the way that I'm seeing it. If I'm seeing it incorrectly, feel free to try and toss me a different narrative. But uh, let's go to
Bro, this is gonna blow if I
Wikipedia.
am relegated to typing in a chat about this complex issue. Do you want to talk over voice sometime?
Maybe. I've had people on voice before, but I've also had people very badly over voice before, screaming obscenities and the N-word just to be funny. So uh, this is the second time I've seen you in chat, the second time we talked, which is good. Hop into the Discord, make me believe that you won't be one of those people, and
Discord.
then I could bring you on.
HTTPS Discord GG Beignet Tritix 8.
But not tonight, because it is already 9 o'clock and I'm already 20 minutes past my normal quit time. But hop into the Discord. Make me believe that you aren't just going to hop onto...
Okay, I joined.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Because did you watch Monday's stream? Because Thomas was here. He's my right-wing friend. I talk to the right-wing friend of mine pretty often, and I think that it could be interesting to talk about things from both sides. Yanukovych, there he is. President of Ukraine from 2010 to 2014. Let's find Euromaidan protests. There we go. So, let's see there. Turn off the cam cap. Turn on the window capture. And Viktor Yanukovych, there he is in the Euromaidan protests. Since 2012, Ukraine and EU had been negotiating a free trade association agreement, overwhelmingly approved, finalizing the agreement with the EU, and Yanukovych urged Parliament to adopt a law so that Ukraine would meet the EU's criteria and be able to sign the agreement in 2013. Russia, however, put pressure on Ukraine to reject the EU association agreement. In 2013, Russia began restricting Ukrainian imports, which Ukraine opposition parties described as a trade war, to pressure the country not to sign the agreement. The agreement was to be finalized at a summit in the Lithuanian capital on 21 November, a week before the summit. Yanukovych suddenly announced that he was pulling out of the agreement, and instead of strengthening economic ties with Russia, so he was Russia's little bitch. This is what I'm suggesting. This is why they were mad at him. They wanted to join the EU, which is a future-facing, modern organization. Russia used 19th century means to hurt them for moving forward without them. Russia is backward. Russia is backward-facing. They are a 19th century problem. You understand? They are not modern. And because they are not modern, when Ukraine tried to join modernity with all the other things that come along with it in the EU, Russia would not benefit from that and instead used their power to hurt them. Why would I be on Russia's side? They're clearly shitty. They're using 19th century rules and 19th century things to stop progress. They are anti-progress. They are backward-facing, anti-progress, and harming innocent people to benefit themselves. That's not fun. Why would I be on their side? I'm not on their side. I would like for progress to happen. Forward momentum everywhere. Global move forward. The entire globe. Tomorrow should be better than yesterday. And if you work towards making tomorrow better, it'll be better. And then eventually, a little bit at a time, everything gets better. I'm going to get if you come back within the next 5 minutes or so, opinionator, I'll get your last thoughts, and then I'm going to call it off for the night. Because I'm about 25 past my normal quit time on a Monday stream. But I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hopping in. And thanks for going to the Discord. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop into the Discord. Tell us what to talk about. Tell us what to think. Put links to stories in there. And go to the YouTube page to watch all of the videos that I make.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at waldavideos.
So what I do is I take this stream, I chop it up into individual little segments, put that on YouTube, and give it a cool title and a thumbnail. And then if you go there, you can watch it. You can give it a thumbs up. You can give it become a subscriber, all that fun stuff, and that'll help me out. I appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, you can use that place as well to tell me what to talk about. Tell me what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And if you want to talk about a specific subject, go to the Discord, pop a link in there, and we'll look at it. We'll feel it. And the next time I stream, I'll take a look and we can talk about it. It's how the system works. If you want to talk about a certain thing, if you've got a certain point of view, pop it in there and I will see it and read it and we can feel it together. Tonight has been a very busy night, but I think I've been doing a good job tonight. Playing video games, talking politics, arguing with chat, and playing with a dog. I am on fire. And some of that chat that I was doing was while the dog was biting my toes. Have you ever been bitten by tiny little teeth? Let's see those teeth, Bobo. Come here. Come here, Bo. Come here. He does not come here. All right, come on, Bo. Come here. Come here. Damn. Why are you so crazy? Look at this little thing. Look at him. Look at these little teeth. Let's see those teeth. Let's see those teeth. You want to show us your teeth? Mean doggy. No? Not going to show us your teeth? Okay. They're very sharp. Trust me. They're very tight, sharp. Especially on your toes. When you bite your toes. They will harm you. Alright. I got your toy. Yes, I will throw it. Because you got on camera. Everybody likes it. Everybody cheers. Okay, here you go. Ready? And I'm going to be doing that for the rest of the night. That will be what I do for the next 2 or 3 hours. Until he goes to sleep. Let me think. So yeah, what I'll do is tomorrow, I think during the day, I'll do a day stream tomorrow just so I can play more Death Must Die. It is a very fun game. I'll get the sword guy up to max, and then I'll probably move on to that other game that Malcidian talked about with Last Spell or something along those lines, and that'll be fun. So hop in tomorrow to tell me more about your hot takes. I'll have the Lady Canucha on, and you can tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, all that fun stuff. Let's see. How many... I'm going to have to go soon. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, Opinionator. If you come back, we'll get another little bit, but let's continue looking at this Yanukovych guy. I think that he was a Russia and Vladimir Putin put some pressure on him, and instead of being strong and independent, he wimped out. He wussed out. He strengthened economic ties with Russia. That made his people very unhappy with him, so they protested. This sparked protests at the Independence Square, in the center of Kiev, which became known as Euromaidan. The protesters united under the Maidan People's Union demanded Yanukovych fill his pledge to sign the agreement or else resign. They called for a return to the 2004 Constitution of Ukraine to give more power to the parliament over the president. I would be on board for that. The scope of the protests soon widened. Protesters opposed what they saw as a widespread government corruption, abuse of power, human rights violations, and influence of oligarchs. That's a very Russian thing to do. During the Maidan uprising, the Independence Square was a huge protest camp occupied by thousands of protesters and protected by makeshift barricades. It had kitchens, first aids posts, broadcasting facilities, as well as stages for speeches, lectures, debates, and performances. Police assaulted the camp several times, causing further anger. Again, yes, because this guy is a bitch. Yanukovych told his police, now I'm starting to remember this, to go and break up these protests because they were bad for his business. They were bad for him. Politically, they were bad for the work that he wanted to do to make more money. Yanukovych had been accused by Amnesty International, among others.
That sounds very American of them.
I know, right? Like, this guy should run for Republican seat. Honestly, Yanukovych. It could be the governor of Texas. It would be great. He was accused by Amnesty International, among others, for using the Berkut to threaten, attack, and torture protesters. The Berkut later disbanded on 25 February 2014. They were a special police force with his personal command and were accused of defending Russian interests. Fucking brown shirts. This is what I'm saying. He had a special police force set up that answers to him to do what he wants so that he can accomplish his political goal. Fucking brown shirts. This is bad. I don't like it. And he was doing that to make Putin happy. That's why I call him Putin's bitch, and that is why I've come to this conclusion that I have. That he was bad for their country. They overthrew him, as they should have. Good job, high five. Does that make them perfect? No. Does that mean Zelensky is an angel saint? No. He can still do things wrong. And if I want to criticize him, I will. And if I don't want to criticize him, I won't. But that doesn't change the fact that Russia wants their thing, their land, and tries to take it. This is not good. Something I can't get on board for. It is now 9:31, half hour past my normal quit time. So what I'm going to do is call it off here. I appreciate you coming in, Opinionator. Thanks for joining the Discord. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Go there. Tell me how you're feeling, and I can discuss it with you tomorrow during the day stream or Wednesday when possibly Thomas will be here. And maybe he'll take your side. I don't know. And if we have a discussion, a good, right, proper discussion in the Discord, and I feel comfortable with putting you on the screen, I would not mind having a voice debate with you. I really wouldn't. I've had 2 other people who just come and chat, and then they hop into the Discord, go through the same route, and then they get on the stream. Totally fine, totally acceptable. I appreciate that. And so Zayla is posting in there right now. And I don't think I spoke to Zayla in person. I spoke
Great
to
stream.
Popog.
He'll definitely hang out tomorrow.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Smell City. That's making me feel good to think that someone would be here. That's it for me tonight. It's time for me to go to bed and play fetch for the dog for another hour or so. And that is it for me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good night. Have a good night. And I will probably stream tomorrow afternoon, probably around noon. I'm going to shoot for noon PST, but maybe it might be more like 1.